If Atlantis represents a state of collective illumination, what does its fall represent in human psyche today? Is that where we're at now?
Oh, that's a great twist at the end of that too. Um, it certainly seems, by all accounts, that we're in a similar place on the orbit and location of our planet relative to the constellations um, that we have been an aeon ago, 2,000 years ago, and 2,000 years before that, etc. We're a part of a repeating cycle. We're a part of a repeating cycle that we've experienced before in history, in human history, and even before the beginning of writing and the beginning of recorded human history. We see events that we can see around us now today as well, and happening and unfolding around us even now. Um, and some of these are space weather events like alignments of the planets and the peak of the solar sunspot cycle and uh, the placement of Earth relative to the sun and galactic core. So that from the position of Earth, the sun has recently seemed to align with galactic core in all of their orbits around one another, etc. Um, but at this particular point on this cycle that we've been in before, it seems likely to us right now that there is expected to be a cataclysm of some form to punish us in the same way that we've been punished in the past for becoming too technologically advanced, becoming too far evolved. But that's only the anthropomorphic theological way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it would be to say that we're just passing through a sunspot cycle and meteor showers that are left over from cometary debris in the past, and will likely encounter comets and solar flares and things like that in the future as well. But there are comparisons to be made between now and the end of the Younger Dryas period in terms of when people place the actual geological evidence for the mythological fall of Atlantis and the deluge, the Great Flood, that all world mythologies have record of. And they associate that with the end of the Younger Dryas and the end of the last Ice Age cycle, or the end of the last North Hemisphere Ice Age period, about 12,500 years to 14,500 years ago. But yeah, Atlantis as a state of mind is something that we can attain to now, even without living in the exact same sort of civilization as Atlantis may or may not have been before the end of the Younger Dryas period. We don't have to have atlatls and be hunting mammoths or be living in cave structures or small thatched huts or anything like that to be able to look at the stars. But we have telescopes now because we've blacked out the sky with city lights and pollution. So it's harder to see the stars now
Yep.
in our technological civilization, but we've also supplemented that with, the James Webb Telescope and the Hubble Telescope and things like that. So